Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTube. My name is Brian, and welcome to Autobahn Investing. This is the midweek roundup, and today we're going to talk about three stocks in particular: Virgin Galactic, Advanced Micro, and ZNGA. Why we executed some of those trades earlier in the week, why we didn't execute some of those trades earlier in the week, where they're at right now, and where we think they're going tomorrow. So stay tuned. I appreciate you being here, and let's get right in. Okay, so let's just jump right in. As you'll recall from my earlier videos, so we start with $200 we put into the account every Monday morning. As of this past Monday, we had $600, and this week we've started to trade against that. I telegraphed these in earlier YouTube videos starting Sunday evening. You can go back and check them out if you'd like. But we started on Tuesday. Monday was a holiday, of course, and on Tuesday we started with two January 29th $95 calls of AMD at $1.91 each, and four ZNGA February 19th $10 calls at 49 cents each. As you can see, the portfolio over the last 2 days has increased $114 to 19%, and we've got $22 in cash currently. So let's just jump right in and talk about each one of these in particular. First off, though, the overall market did really well today. The S&P was up, what was it up? Something like 50 something points. Let me check that out real quick. 50 something, I think. The NASDAQ absolutely crushed it. But the, so the S&P 52 and the NASDAQ up 260 or almost 2%. And the S&P was up 1.4% though, not too shabby to say the least. So we got good news today, bad news today, and no news today. So we'll start with sort of the bad news situation going. So yesterday, as I indicated, I jumped in to these advanced micro calls, $95 January 29th calls. And the reason I did that was I was playing off of this supposed bounce yesterday. You can see yesterday had a nice upwards hammer up to the 50-day moving average. The RSI is showing as the oversold, slightly oversold. The MACD looks like it's trying to make a turn, but I'm really trying to play this gap from when Intel announced a new CEO. Today started off strong right out of the gate. Traded up over $90.50, and slowly took back all of that today and closed down 70 cents. So, I'm still thinking that this gap needs to get filled, or at least I should say maybe I'm still hopeful. But given the fact that these options expire next Friday, I'm not playing around with the risk down now that we've closed below the 50-day again. We did that 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago. We got back up to it yesterday. Tomorrow's going to be a big tell. If it looks like we're trading down towards that 87.50 mark, and it's going to close below that 50-day moving average, I'm going to jump out. The reason being is because there is this gap down here around this, just below the 77.50 mark, that I'm now nervous is going to have to get filled with this breakdown below the 50-day. There's some rumors going on Twitter that there's some pretty big hedge funds that were long AMD, short Intel, and with the new CEO are unwinding that position, which is what's causing Intel to go up and AMD to go down. Can't say whether or not that's rumor or fact, but it is some dialogue going on Twitter that I've been seeing today around that. Look, if that's the truth, who knows? But I'm not going to risk it this close to expiration, and I'll just chalk it up. Right now, as I stated, we're a couple cents over our initial entry point, but I'll be happy to break even and get out of this. Now, the SMH, the ETF for semiconductors, is showing some pretty huge strength. It did have a little bit of a red bar today, but look, NVIDIA was up 13.62 today alone. So it is, again, the ETF RSI is showing overbought. MACD is extended. We're well above our 50-day moving average. Last time we were 30 points or so above that moving average was at the beginning of December, and it sort of just went nowhere for a while. This probably does need, let's face it, this probably does need to consolidate and draw back a little bit, come back down into normal territories for the RSI. And I don't want to be around while it's at least an AMD if that were to happen. So I'm going to be watching this very closely tomorrow at the open, and if there's weakness in AMD in the first 30 minutes of trade, I'll jump out. So now let's move to the good news, ZNGA. So we nailed this thing right yesterday morning when it started going up, and there was a moment yesterday midday right around here where we had a green bar up to that $9.81 level on volume. Now that's when I bought in these options, but it slipped past that, and I was like, wow, that was a bit of a surprise. I thought it was going to blow past that, but it slowly climbed into the closed over around 993, and right out of the gate this morning it took off. Traded as high as 1032, and fell back for the latter part of the day, up a little bit in pre-market. But if you look on the candle on the daily here, clear breakout above the this 4-week or so consolidation pattern going on. RSI now flipped and is trending up, whereas you can see it's been trending down. So that's a nice move there. And the MACD is about to cut the corner here. So again, I'm riding this. We've got February 19th calls, so lots of time to play with here. Not worried about it at all. My stop now, though, is moved up to 990, and I've done that because of that's about where we were right here in this area yesterday. So just to protect it in case it does go south. The only news on ZNGA today was this expansion globally with game launch in South Korea. Clearly, that's not enough news to take the stock up over, what was it, 3% almost. Yeah, over 3% if you include after hours. Well, but you got to admit the South Koreans play a lot of video games, so maybe that's good. But I don't see that being the reason. This was a technical move, and I do believe it's going much higher. So this weekend I'll talk about my long-term 2-month, I should say, target price on this is the 14 to 15 range. I'll explain why that is. I'm not sure I'll ride these options that high. We'll see how much momentum comes into it. There's a good bit of volume today, though, that brought in. So we'll see if that continues, and see that'll dictate how long I stay in here. And then now to the no news. Virgin Galactic is still treading water up here. Now, here's the thing that's really caught my attention on Twitter. GameStop has got the largest short interest out there as a percentage of float. Look what's number 2 is Virgin Galactic. With a little bit of buy volume in here, I gotta believe this thing is going to explode when these shorts start covering. And if you watch anything on CNBC and at night, Mad Money or Fast Money, there's a lot of talk going around right now on the game that's being played against these shorts. And there's a concerted effort on these high. AMC is another one today, right? There's a concerted effort on these high short interest stocks to just nail these shorts to the walls. If that happens, with space, and that gets in those crosshairs, I've got to believe this is flying higher. Here, look what happened to GameStop over the last 5 days. There's the chart. Now it's been in a nice upward trend since 750. It blew past 39 today, and is now treading up here in an overbought category, of course. But you can't argue with this. This short interest is a thing. That being said, I still am hopeful, and I haven't bought in yet because I still believe this $28 to $30 gap needs to get filled, and I'll be watching that intently. Now, my bet is, and what I'm banking on, and I might miss out on this. I'll be the first to admit I might miss out on this whole thing. But what I'm banking on is that this 50-day moving average moves up in the next week or so to that $28 mark, and that brings Virgin Galactic down to bounce off that 50-day, fill that gap, bounce the 50-day, and then break above 34. When it gets down to 28, I should say, if it gets down to 28, I'll be buying into those 34 call options. I'm not sure the time frame. It'll depend on when. And look, I'll be the first to admit, I might miss out on this. I might just totally miss the boat on this. And if I do, that's okay, because there's more to chase. And I'm not going to FOMO anything. We don't FOMO here. So that's the midweek where we're at. Feeling real good about a 19% gain over the last 48 hours. However, I'm a little worried about AMD and thinking that might be a bit of a drag tomorrow morning, but hopeful that ZNGA pushes up, continues the run it had today, pushes that up further. So we'll see. Anyway, look, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude with a computer that really enjoys talking about this stuff as a hobby. So please don't buy or sell anything just because I said it. I hope you enjoy. I hope you learn a couple things. And until next time, if you feel so inclined, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe or like, comment. If you feel disagree with me, agree with anything I said here, certainly comment. Love to hear your comments. Anyway, thanks a lot and have a great evening.